Hi everyone! Today we are going to talk about AutoMapper in C#. So let's say that we have a situation in which we are going to get this data from the database. So we got book with all of these fields. And we don't actually need all of these fields. We need only the name and release date. So we want to map that data to another object which contains only the name and release date. So as you can see, we can do something like that with this approach, but this approach is not very practical. So there are a lot of chances of making a mistake, and it's also not very readable if we consider that we could have a lot of fields in this class, or even if in this class as well. So how we can do that? We can use AutoMapper, which is library which is going to help us to map the objects. So what we need to do, we need to install NuGet package. We can do that by right-clicking on the project. We need to click on the Manage NuGet Packages, and we need to select AutoMapper and install it. So it's going to take some time. And if I go back to the program, we need to configure that mapper by saying something like this. So we are specifying configuration, and we are saying that we are going to map book into book DTO. So if I quickly comment out this part of the code, I need to create new instance of the mapper by saying mapper is new mapper of config. And now I can say something like this. So I want to say that book DTO is equal to mapper.map. I need to specify which type we are expecting as a result, and I'm passing the book object of the book. So what is going to happen? We are going to map name and release date into the book DTO object, and as a result we're going to get that in this book DTO variable. So I've just put a simple breakpoint to see what we got in that object. If I quickly run the application, we can see that this object contains name and release date. So we successfully mapped the data from the database into the DTO object. So there's a lot of things that you can do with AutoMapper. I would suggest you to play around with it. You can specify the profiles and so on. But one more thing that I will show as a part of this video is what would happen if we just change the, let's say, name in the DTO object. So if in DTO class, if I change the name to, let's say, name of the book, the AutoMapper won't know how to do it by default. So we need to specify that as a part of the configuration by saying something like this. For member, I mean to say destination dot, we need to select the proper field. We want to say something like this, dot map from, and we need a source, which is going to be the field from the source, so name. So by saying something like this, our AutoMapper is going to be able to map the name for one object into another one, even if those two fields are not the same. They don't have the same name. So as a result, we're going to get the same result, even if the fields are different. So as you can see, we got the same result. As I mentioned, there's a lot of things that you can do with AutoMapper, and I would highly suggest playing around with it. But I guess that will be pretty much it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.